Hello and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Spain keeps sending out single ships, and this time it's a battlecruiser, so let's see what kind of battlecruiser they have made. It's got 8 14-inch guns, so that's kind of impressive. It's also slightly faster than mine. So let's see if it's any good. Okay, looks like it's got some kind of side turret setup, so it doesn't have a full 8-gun broadside. I'm gonna send some ships home. This way, yes. I don't think the DDs will be able to catch the battlecruiser. I don't think the armored cruisers will be any use here. Battlecruisers will definitely be of use. The two pre-dreadnoughts, they can also just go home. My dreadnoughts, though, will be useful. Let's slow down the battlecruisers, just keep them behind the battleships. Similar to the last battle, just let the battleships take the hits. And there she is. Let's see what kind of battlecruiser Spain has made. Mark II 14-inch guns, 14 inches of main belt, 103% armor quality, heavy shells, ballistite and dunite. That could be explosive, but it's also got reduced ammo. So maybe not that explosive. Also, only Barbette 1 and Citadel 1. So maybe explosive after all. Standard bulkheads. I mean, not bad. Not bad by AI standards. And we're spotting them from quite far out. I'm not 100% sure, but I think tower spotting has been somewhat increased in the Dreadnought Improvement Project. Because even though none of my ships have actually any good tower spotting, I seem to be spotting the enemy ships from quite a distance. "21 kilometers. We're getting into range now. Let's slow down these guys. Battleships already firing. Battlecruisers firing. And there we go, scoring floating hits. Most of its bow section is gone. It's hitting me back though. And it's coming very close. What are you guys doing here? Anyway, they can do whatever they are trying to do. Hell. What kind of formation were you trying to keep there? Anyway, it worked out. Formation shenanigans didn't have too much of an impact. Now these ships here I will send into the invasion circle for the last turn of the invasion. Hopefully getting that chance to succeed up. %. It's not terrible, but I would have liked to see it a bit higher. So let's see if that's going to work out. And it seems it did. No alliances, thank you. You know, it's funny how alliances work in this game. It seems the best way if you want to keep a nation friendly, which I don't want the Soviet Union or Russia to become my enemy just now, because their army is just going to take whatever I have in the Baltics and Finland. So if I just want to keep them friendly, the best option seems to just be not to agree to the alliance and just have them begging for it every turn. Northern Spain is mine. Because if I do get an alliance, and the alliance ends up breaking, which can happen, then that relation is set down to 0 again, and from there it can quickly go negative. Let's move these guys back to Stockholm. So now I've got to well, these are actually pretty big ports. They just need to be repaired after the strikes. So now if Spain, yeah, they're out of ships. They're almost out of money. Let's give them that peace treaty now. Let's move this fleet back to Copenhagen. Except for the battlecruisers. Battlecruisers can head into La Coruña, which, when fixed, should be big enough to hold them. Anyway, let's see what I can do with getting a war with France going. -88. Well, I can't do anything now, but maybe next turn. Well, the war continues with Spain. And same thing with Germany. You can keep begging for that alliance. But I will keep begging for that that peace treaty while there is still a Spain to give me war reparations. There we go. Oh, is something being repaired? Probably. A little bit over capacity here. Yeah, Friday is being repaired. Do I have here that I can send to another port to save some space? The 2 pre-dreadnoughts, probably. Yeah. And I think I will move the Thor to another port. I don't really want to scrap it. I did scrap the old light cruiser and armored cruiser I had as museum ships in Copenhagen. just because I don't have enough port capacity to keep old ships like that in service for nostalgia, or well, not in service, but in port. I will move some of these to Ulo though, just as a reserve fleet. Let's see. I am close to getting Citadel 3 now, which is of course nice. Let's see about giving my my battlecruisers a quick refit, and in a couple of months, when I've gotten those rangefinders and the Citadel and a couple of other things, we're gonna design a new one, an advanced battlecruiser. Let's see, first things first, upgrade those 5-inch guns to Mark III. Very nice. And from Cordite 1 to Cordite 2 should be a little bit safer. Let's see what that does to the flash fire chance. From 24.8 to 19.1. That was a bit of an improvement. And geared turbines. That increases the range quite a bit. It also saves some weight. I can now go with maximum bulkheads. I can even increase the crew quarters. My crew pool was not as empty as I thought it was. I can go with coincidence 3, I think, over stereoscopic 2. Alright, decent change to my ship. Ooh, that is heavy. That's too heavy. Let's not do that. Auxiliary 2. I can fit that. Better rudder shift speed. Unbalanced rudder. Yeah. Less sustained speed while turning, so maybe by doing some maneuvers I can actually make them slow down and reach their cruising speed, which is something they currently struggle with. I don't want to pick anything that increases the already not very good flash fire chance. So none of this stuff, at least. But yeah, that's it for Hel. And I also think I've got advanced double turrets now, so that should help with accuracy a little bit. And that looks terrible, minus 100 million, because we're slightly over shipbuilding capacity. But if I just suspend one of those, then suddenly we're back to plus 22 million, so... yeah, that seems to matter a lot in the Dreadnought Improvement Project, going over shipbuilding capacity. That's only temporary, though, while Friday is being slightly repaired, having to freshen up her paint, which is very important. Or port capacity doesn't help either, but as I said, I'm pretty sure La Coruña is going to be a 100,000 ton port once it's repaired after my strikes. So let's see if we get that peace treaty and can start fighting France soon. Spain seems like they want to keep fighting. They got a 4% army logistics. Like, on the one hand, maybe we just could keep fighting. And I could just let my army take stuff from them. Because we've pushed back their attack in northeast Mexico too, and my army is now marching on Guatemala. The Spanish army size seems to have crumbled a bit. In addition to the army logistics not being what they used to be. 70,000 GDP. Alright. I think we should be able to catch up in technology now, soon. And at least only be behind. Because there are so many nations that have basically collapsed into almost nothing. Spain, Portugal. Well, Japan hasn't really collapsed. They're just struggling to get off the ground. Byzantine Empire. Soviet Union, which is switching between being the Soviet Union and Federation of Russia seemingly every other month. Yeah, Byzantine Empire doesn't look that good at the time. Well, Japan is still Japan plus parts of Korea, so they're what they used to be, I guess. Let's take a look at the big dogs. Yeah, Britain rebuilding their battleship force, undoubtedly with modern dreadnoughts. I think they scrapped all their pre-dreadnoughts. France looking quite hostile. So that war is going to happen soon. 2 turns until I get these 2. And then we can design some battlecruisers. By that time, my refits here will be done as well. Spain does not want to quit. Are they still at 4% army logistics? Yeah, they are. So that's a 1 month tech anyway. What kind of turret mechanisms are we getting? What kind of explosives? Nothing that important, really. Mark 3 8-inch guns. Oh, priority only takes it from 3 to 2 months? Not worth it. Am I close to getting oil fired? Yes, I am. Let's get those rangefinders and then deal with the new battlecruisers. Okay, so for new hulls, we got the Dreadnought 4. We got Dreadnought 3, which I don't really like the look of, but I do like Dreadnought 4. And we got Battlecruiser 2, which resistance is kind of crap compared to Battlecruiser 1, but That's how it is. It can go faster though. 28 knots. Let's see, gear turbines. Auxiliary 2. Corrupt 1. And Citadel 3. That brings us to a resistance of 71, which is not great, but 4,000 tower spotting from that tower. Okay, so this is basically a German battlecruiser hull. Alright. I think we're gonna build 2 of these. Possibly. Does that barbette even fit here? I mean, yes. It's overhanging a bit, though. Did I mount that center line? Yes, I did. Main guns. I don't think the 16s are... yeah, I need a bigger barbette for that. Oh, they're too tall for that little jump there. I think 15s probably. Why doesn't it fit? Oh, because I didn't mount the barbette center line. Let's put it there first. Put the gun on it, then move it back. There. That works. Alright. Engine efficiency is only 95.6%. But if, yeah, induced, suddenly much better. Need to find a name for it. I already got a Harald Hårfagre, so it's got to be something else. But in the meantime, while I think of something, let's deal with some secondaries. Put that there. Move things slightly further back. Tall barbette? Is that too tall? I think it's too big. Oh, come on now. Don't be so picky. There we go. Secondary guns. I can do Mark III everything. I think 6-inch is probably good enough. Yeah, they can fire. There we go. I'm also tempted to do some barbettes, but I mean casemates. But even and this is with no armor added too. Like that's 30 tons for a twin turret. That's 48. for a casemate mount. And that is armor not included. So a little bit heavy for what they are, I think. Barbette protection, yes. Standard ratio on the secondaries. Corvette 2, TNT 1. That brings my flash fire chance to 25.6. I'm gonna go with light shells until I get cube powder and better anti-flash barbettes. If I replace this barbette here with a bigger one, for some reason the game takes the secondary barbette away. Nice, very cool, thank you. Will that improve my flash fire chance? Because I was using that one. It's gonna add some weight, but if it's making the ship safer, there we go, 17.8. And of course it's not centered. There we go. It's kind of clipping into that turret, but yeah, that's okay. If we go for the tall one after all, that will look better. A little bit better. So there we go. Flash fire chance slightly improved. Let's go with stereoscoping on this. Now then, armor, which it kind of needs. And already we are running into what will be a bit of a challenge here. Trying to get it armored without going overweight. 14 on the main belt seems to be the maximum. 5 on the fore and aft, and already we are getting very, very close. And there we go, overweight. Do I have to go down to 14 inch on the as the main armament? I kind of hope not. Let's keep doing the armor deck penetration. Yeah, we are in the territory now of actually needing some deck armor. At least 3, I think. Yeah, that should keep me safe from deck penetrations. $15 as turret armor. Turrets really need some decent protection, because that flash fire chance is still not great. Alright, that's the armor. And we are 15% overweight. So might have to reduce that anti-torp just a little bit. Might have to go down to many bulkheads. drop the range down to 8% overweight. Let's see, how much do I save by going with 14s instead of 15s? Let's give them the same armor for comparison. Yeah, like it's gonna save some weight. It's also gonna shave off some range. At 10,000 meters, 2.9% accuracy versus 2.5. They're not that different in terms of like pure punching power, so we're gonna go with 14s. I'm gonna go with 14s, and we're gonna have to slightly shrink down that citadel by moving turrets closer to the center line. At least we're getting closer now. Bit of an aft weight offset. Like so. I can't really move that much closer, but maybe a little bit closer. I mean, the aft weight offset doesn't really matter that much. It's very, very minor. But there we go. 2% overweight. What now? Is my armor calculator set to 110%? No, it isn't. It's set to 75. Still, okay. Alright, that's a bit different. The armor penetration numbers now quite a bit different, yeah. Can go down to 2.5 on the main deck. And we can slightly reduce the turret armor. 1% overweight. Let's shave half an inch off the turret top as well. Okay, we're very, very close now. You're actually having a workable ship. And I am getting oil-fired boilers, which will let me use semi-oil like next turn. It's thin enough already. Let's not reduce the beam. If I use slightly lighter funnels, it's not that much of a weight difference, is there? And that one is huge. It's taking up like as much space as two of these. Let's go down one funnel size. Saved a bit of weight. Standard quarters then. And then I can just increase that to... no. From standard down to cramped, and I can increase it back to standard in a refit once I get the oil-fired things. And that will be that, I think. Let's think of a name. Well, we've done lots of Norse mythology, but we can't forget that Finland is now also part of the empire we have, so Vanamoinen will be this ship's name, or the ship class name. So there we go. I think I'm going to build 2 of these. Yeah, Ilmarinen and Vanamoinen. Those were Finnish coastal battleships. And I think the name kind of fits. These are a bit bigger, though, than those. Yeah, that's the new Battlecruiser. Spain still don't want to make peace. In the meantime, my army has taken Guatemala and is marching on southwest Mexico. And more importantly, we're marching into Portugal, which would be quite a nice place to have. These ports are slowly repairing. Spanish army logistics up to 69%. So my march into Portugal will probably slow down, unless Spain ends up losing their one light cruiser, in which case the army logistics will suddenly drop down to probably like 3% maybe. And they still refuse to surrender. Let's take on this DD here. If they don't want to make peace, I've been resorting to hunting down the few ships they have. So at least their army logistics will drop, and my armies can make some advances on Portugal. Southwest. Oh, this destroyer type had some pretty decent torpedoes. If it's the one I think it was. That hit one of my pre-dreadnoughts. There it is. 8.5 kilometer torps, yeah. Cruising speed is now 15.6. A little higher than it was pre-refit. There you go, you can see one of the shells was gonna hit. You can do that a couple more times. That would be very nice. And this time, at least my 5-inch Mark III secondaries will actually outrange the torpedoes. Not by much, though. I don't want to get too close to that smoke screen, knowing its torpedo range and knowing my very poor maneuverability. I got the top speed. I lack the turning radius. I do stray within torpedo range, I need to sink it quickly before the torpedoes actually hit me if it launches. There we go. That's probably the kill shot. Not quite, but at least it's dead in the water now. There we go. Not bad. And finally, after a couple more months, we get a peace treaty. Now, the army wasn't making any advances anyway, so just as well. Let's see what we can get. Southwest Mexico, yes. Portugal is not on the list. El Salvador, yes. I'm in that area anyway. Do I want any other light cruisers? I don't really think so. Philippines? I can take Easter and Galapagos Islands. I don't really want to go too far into Asia. Yeah, that's good enough. And 986 million. Let's go. Alright. Now then, France. So all of that is now mine. And this one. Not bad. Let's put my ships back into port. And as a little side note, I like when the game just offers me free money. I can take the 2 unrest, that's fine. France and German Empire are at war. And I think that should bring me very, very close to a war too. Yeah, minus 99. So we're getting that war declaration next turn, probably. Let's see, for the research. We're doing Mark 1 18s. I hope I'm starting to get Mark 3 guns soon. For the big guns. That would be very, very nice. And of course the amazing turbo electric drive is edging ever so closer. 3 years away, more or less. I'm also tempted to keep expanding this. Just maybe not quite now. I can bump this down. I'm getting plenty of money though. 9 months for these to finish. Let's see, France. What do you want to do? And here it is. Our patient is really over, and we get a war with France. What does that mean for Britain? We're still positive with Britain, even though they're allied to France, with whom I'm now at war. Very friendly with Germany, Soviet Union, also Portugal and the US. I don't want to get dragged into all the wars they are in, though. Wow, France, you've got quite the navy. Let's see. Where do you have ships? Other than these. Let's move my old boats out and finally take back what is mine. Which is why this whole thing with Spain started in the first place, but there we go. Yeah, they're assembling a bunch of ships here. Battlecruiser, 3 heavies, 2 lights, 4 DDs. Battleship, 2 battlecruisers. The combined weight is not that great, so it's not like they are super chunky capital ships. I think 4 battlecruisers could handle this task force here. Maybe not that one, but probably this one. And by handle it, I mean not necessarily sink it entirely, but sink a bit of it, then get out and take the win. And then we're gonna assemble a larger formation and give them a big battle, probably in the next episode. No, Byzantine Empire, I just don't think about you at all. It's not what I wanted, but at least I think we can take these. Pretty fast destroyers, though. And 3 of them. 9 torpedo launchers each. Let's give it a try. Let's see, Fenris you can detach. And I'll go with 2 divisions of 2. A little bit more manageable if I need to dodge a lot of torpedoes. And the enemy is to the north. These, I'm guessing, are pretty modern destroyers. We're being outspotted. There it is. Let's see, how scary are they? 4.5 kilometer torpedoes. Fast ones, though, so very hard to dodge. Okay, we're gonna drop down to like 16 knots. See if we can land some good torpedo hits on these. They're hiding in their little smoke screens. It is evening, which isn't great for accuracy. See if we can get some good hits on glaive. There we go. 5-inch hit, actually scoring some decent flooding here. Secondaries on one, primaries on the other. Fugo. Big hit. Some more big hits. Glaive, I think, is going down. And my ships are switching targets faster than I can correct them, but that's how it is. Let's keep them from getting too close. I'm lucky they've got short-range torpedoes. They would be very difficult to deal with if that were not the case. Speaking of which, I need to remember to refit my DDs. Give them better torps. I'm a bit behind on torp technology, but I think I can improve them. And I probably need to make some new designs as well. Because I think we're about to get some battles where I actually need to have my DDs be effective and do some daring and effective torpedo runs. There we go, Fugo. Take some punishment. Let's bring Fenris in closer. So not too bad. Basically no damage taken, some scratches to the paint of one of my ships. But that's about it. Did not eat any torpedoes for lunch today. Torpedo soup was sent back to the waiter. Is it gonna sink soon? There it goes. Yeah, even in dip, destroyer and torpedo boat hulls are strangely buoyant. And the French main fleet decided that no, they're gonna go to Bangkok and Saigon. Who else are they fighting? Soviet Union. Okay, and Germany. I think this is not the place to put your ships, France. These ships are coming here though. They're gonna be here in 2 turns. Let's see, Virgin Islands. Yes, they are mine. Now, destroyers. We need to make them a little bit better. Should I have designed a new class of destroyers a couple of months ago? Yes, probably. Is that too late now? Also yes. So we're just gonna have to work with what we have. This is gonna make them a little bit more expensive, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Can I make them faster? Yes, finally. I can reach higher top speeds. What's my torpedo range now? 6.6. You can even slap on a hydro. "20-inch torpedoes. 7.3 now. Not bad. This is workable. This is workable as a DD. How much more speed can I add? Not quite 33 knots, but not far off. If I reduce the ammunition loadout, Mark III 4-inch guns. Probably not a bad idea to have. Let's go with the better coincidence rangefinder. Is auxiliary 2, is that lighter than 1? No, it isn't. It's heavier. Do I have the smallest funnel? Yeah, I do. Like, it would be nice just having a little bit more speed, but I think 32.5 is good enough. How about 32.9? 32.89. No, it rounds up. Okay. 32.8. That's almost 33. That works. That works. That should let them close in and dump torpedoes and hopefully get out. And they don't need to get that close either. Now the French torpedo boats about to be sent up against their original builder. Probably at the end of their useful lifespan. But that doesn't mean they need to be retired just yet. We can do 30. Can we do 32? No. Can we do 31? Yes. Depth charges. They don't need that because we're playing dip and there are no such thing as submarines. We're not that far off from having usable 20-inch torpedoes on a on an old torpedo boat. But I think maybe 19 will work. Okay, I have to slightly fiddle with the components here. To make everything happy. There we go. 19. Good enough. Don't want to bother with any of these. Let's keep them cheap and semi-disposable. And with that, in 2 months' time, I suddenly will have some torpedo launching vehicles that are kind of up to date. If not excellent, then at least workable. It doesn't even break the bank refitting them, so that is nice. Those were the Mark 1 18s, yes. That's not a new hull. Heavy cruisers, that will probably have to wait. So that's it for now. I will see you next time, and then we will finally be fighting the French again, which I've kind of teased the past couple of episodes, and I thought it would happen sooner, but this is when it happens. And yeah, that's going to Saigon. There was one task force here. Yeah, this one. We'll be there in 2 turns. That is just about on time for my my torpedo boats to be ready. Torpedo boats and DDs. in the meantime, let's send these guys back to their port, so they can maybe hunt some transports or something. Yeah, yeah, they can do that. Goodbye, and take care.